Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 1.11, which is writing your reflection in our historical investigations unit. So by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to do the following. Write a completed reflection for your historical investigation essay. This is part C of the HI. You just completed part A, which is the OPCVL, in the last two lessons. A complete part C reflection includes the following. Discussion about the methods you used during the research process. That's largely what this is going to be, so we're going to focus on writing that now. Here's just a quick look at your IB grading rubric, and this particular section is worth a maximum of 4 points. So obviously this is the area that you would like to be scored in, so take a look at these different components to let you know what you need to do in order to be successful in getting a 3 or 4 for this part. Okay, so before we jump into this, we do need to take a few moments to address methods versus process, because this is the biggest issue, the biggest question mark, if you will, regarding writing these reflections. Now, first of all, the IB wants you to reflect on both yours and a professional historian's methods that were used. You're trying to discuss the methods, not the process. Okay, and here's the difference between the two. When you're talking about methods, this is the skills that you and historians use while you're doing research. So you are assessing the credibility, you're analyzing evidence, you're countering a counterclaim. These are all academic values. Okay, so all of these things, like, I analyzed the credibility of this evidence and this is how I did it, or I was assessing the credibility of this evidence, this is how I did it, or I was countering my counterclaim and this is how I did it. Sadly, many students, and this is not a criticism, it's just a reality, many students do this. This is a process where you will talk about it in your reflection and you say things like, I read the instructions, I read the sources, I typed my paper, I formatted it, I went to the library. These are all actions that have nothing to do with the reflection. You are reflecting upon the methods, not the process. So in terms of the methods, talk about the assessing of credibility of sources, analyzing sources, countering your counterclaim. Those are things that historians do. These other things down here, like going to the library, writing your paper, those are just menial tasks that everyone is expected to do. So focus more on methods, not on process. Okay, so how do you go about writing this reflection, this part C? So let's talk about the reflecting part. Well, first thing you need to do is look at your historical investigation workbook. That's the first thing to do, is get the workbook. Then you're going to find the section on part C, reflecting, and there's a whole series of prompts in there. And what you want to do is look at a couple of those, and you're going to reflect on those too. You're going to discuss both yourself and professional historians. And so just look at those questions that they're under the reflecting thing in the historical investigation workbook, and then choose 2 of those prompts, and you're just going to reflect on 2 of those prompts, comparing yourself and an actual historian themselves. And of course, a lot of people are like, well, duh, that this is easy, this is very easy, we get it, Albrecht, that's fine. However, you need to recognize this is the part that students typically do worst on. And the reason being is because one of 2 things, and it's usually this: people are focusing on process, not methods. That's the biggest one. And then the other thing is focusing either totally on yourself and nothing on professional, or talking all about professional and then doing nothing about yourself. So just be mindful of those 2 potential hiccups for you. So in terms of formatting for your reflection, since many of you are going to probably be done with this rather quickly, your formatting should be really simple. So you just want to make sure you have section C, reflection, as your heading, and it's left justified. Everything is supposed to be in Times New Roman font. It is to be double-spaced just like the rest of the paper. Your reflection should only be 1 or 2 paragraphs. Remember, it is only 400 words, so it's not that long. And this is the only section in the paper where you can use first person. So you can say I, me, we, those kind of things. You can do all of that since it's a reflection about you as a person. And then when you're finished, you want to submit your draft of a reflection. This is not graded because obviously you're just getting feedback on it. But if you need feedback on your reflection, just send it to me and I can give the reflection as you need it. And once you do so, then you'll be able to go off and work on the actual final versions of your paper. Okay, this slide does not apply to you all, and since you guys are seniors, so don't worry about it. So at this point, what should you do now? You should start writing on your Part C reflection. So hopefully by the end of class, you'll be able to have it completed. Remember, you should be focusing on methods, not on process. So focus more on methods, not on process. And there we have it, folks. Lesson 1.11 is completed about writing your reflection. So, have you completed your reflection part of your HI? Probably not, since you're just listening to this video. But once you're done here, you'll move on to completing it, and you'll be done with the HI. But just a reminder: does your Part C completed actually discuss the methods you used during the research process? Remember, you're focusing more on methods. At this point, complete the required activities for 1.11. You may move forward and start working on your reflection, and this should be completed by next class. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.